Geometry 1, Chapter 4, Topic 3. You should be able to give the line of reflection when given either an image of a reflection or when given points of a reflection. So the first example, triangle ABC has coordinates A, 7, 4, B, -1, 8, and C, 6, -4, and is reflected to B, triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, with coordinates A prime, 4, 7, B prime, 8, -1, and C prime, -4, 6. What is the line of reflection? So here, we want to focus on just one of the points being reflected. So we can either focus on A, B, or C. It's completely up to you. I tend to look at A because it's first. So the point A, 7, 4, is reflected into A prime, 4, 7. Now you have to look at these values. What changed between 7, 4 and 4, 7? The order changed. The 7 was first here, and then the 4, and here the 4 comes first, and then the 7. No negatives changed. They're still all positive numbers. It's just they flipped order. The first became the second, and the second became the first. All right, so now we have to look at the rules for the reflections. We have 4 of them here. We can reflect across the x-axis, y-axis, the line y equals x, or the line y equals -x. If you reflect across the x-axis, the point xy turns into x -y. So what happens here is your y value, the second number, switches signs. It was y and now it's -y. So that negative sign will make a negative number positive or a positive number negative. If you're reflecting across the y-axis, your point xy turns into the point -xy. So your first value switches signs. If you reflect across the line y equals x, your point xy turns into y -x. So here, sorry, yx. I don't know why I put a negative sign there. Yx. So here, notice the x and the y turn into y and x. Here they switch order. The first becomes the second becomes the first. And y equals -x takes the point xy to the point -y -x. So here they switch order. The first becomes the second becomes the first, and signs. If they were positive, they turn into negatives. So our problem took the point 7, 4 and turned it into the point 4, 7. The order changed. So which rule is that? Well, that takes xy and changes it to yx. That's the switching of the orders. So the line of reflection is across the line y equals x. Now, keeping these reflections handy is something that you'll want to do when we move on to the next example. Identify the line of reflections for the pictures below. Now, it's kind of up to you. Some people can look at the picture and very quickly tell what the line of reflection is. I personally prefer looking at the points. So this takes the point A, which is -4, 8, and it changes it to A prime, which is -8, 4. So we have to ask ourselves, what happened here? What's the difference between A and A prime? Well, the -4 turned into a +4, and it went from being first to being second. And the 8 was second, and now it's first, but it's negative. So here they switched the order, and signs. The positive numbers are now negative, the negative numbers are now positive, and we go back to our nice little list of the rules of the reflections. Which line allowed us to switch the order and the signs? That's the line y equals -x. So that's the answer. That line is approximately a kind of diagonal going down this way, flipping triangle ABC to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. Now for the second picture, we can do the same thing. A point A was -4, 8, and it was reflected to be A prime, -4, -8. So what changed between A and A prime? Well, the -4 stayed -4. The 8 turned into a -8. So the second number switched signs. The 8 was positive, now it's negative. So we look at our list. Which rule has the second value switching signs? Well, that's the first one, the x-axis. So it was reflected across the x-axis. Now, it's not necessary to memorize these rules, but it is important to be able to apply them, to identify them. But please don't go out of your way to memorize them. They are provided on the final exam.